In the last several weeks, we have witnessed record demand for testing, as Dr. Toomey mentioned. While Georgia is reporting nearly 20,000 tests every single day, we know that more is now needed. We have more than 172 state-run testing sites open, and we will continue to partner with local and private entities to expand access in targeted communities. This was another area we discussed yesterday with Ambassador Burks and Dr. Redfield, and how the feds and the state can continue to work together on this issue. As many in this room have reported, national labs have become backlogged, causing many Georgians to wait days, if not over a week, for their result. This is simply unacceptable, and Georgians deserve better. In the coming days, we will announce a new regional partner who will expand capacity, adding 10,000 more tests a day and providing faster results. As I've said from the beginning, accessible, accurate, and timely testing are key to winning the war against COVID-19. We will continue to do whatever it takes to shake up the status quo and fix this pressing issue.